Today, many of my topics from emails to newsletters to this Rambles have been about reflecting on the past and, looking forward to the future as we end 2022. And I just wanted to share something that I've been thinking on. 2 weeks ago, I went to a friend's basketball game, and it was in Marble Falls, and it was in their rinkety dink PE gym. And I wasn't even thinking about it when I drove up and I walked in the gym. And when I walked in that gym, I realized that the last time I had been in that gym was a little over 20 years ago, when it was my freshman year of high school, and we were in the same tournament that my friend's daughter was now playing in. And so obviously it brought back a lot of memories, and I started thinking about high school basketball and playing and my coach, and it made me think of all the lessons that I learned while playing sports, and especially basketball. Coach Boyd came in my last 2 years of high school, and he inspired me to go into education, and he is still always there for me, even in the past couple of years when my life has just been kind of crappy. He would always send me a text and reach out, and he made such an impact on me as a teenager, and that impact has carried on. And I was talking to Paul after that, and we were both reminiscing about when we played basketball and our favorite coaches. And one of the biggest lessons that Coach Boyd taught me, and I've tried to remember and carry on to other areas of my life, was, when he was making us run, he always called it a necessary evil. And he said there are going to be times in life when you are going to be thankful that you've done all this running. And it's not going to be fun now. You're not going to ever love running lines during practice, but it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a better athlete. You're going to be able to finish games in much better shape than other teams, and it's going to help us win. But I loved how he called it a necessary evil. And every time I think of running, even now, I think of it as a necessary evil, because it's not something that a lot of people love to do, but there are so many benefits. As a basketball player, being able to run up and down the court longer and faster than the other team helped us win a lot of games. And I could go into all the health benefits and mental health benefits of running, but I'm not going to do that. But I want you to focus on the part that, he jokingly called it a necessary evil. And there are so many of those things that, as adults, sometimes if you think of things in your life that you really hate to do, but you need to do it, if you think of it as a necessary evil, that it's something that you're just going to have to suck up and do. I think sometimes if you just kind of, think of a crazy nickname for it like that, it helps you get through it. And that, you're going to be a better and stronger person once you do it, or once you get through it. So that was one of the lessons that I was reminiscing on that I wanted to share with you. And then the other really, really helped me, because I've always been fairly sensitive. And I always, when the coach would yell at me, I would just get so down and just beat myself up and be like, Rachel, you're a terrible person. You're a terrible human. You're a terrible basketball player. You're terrible. I mean, I just would get so down on myself. But he was the first coach to really, really share and share it in a way that it stuck in my head, that he said, when I am on the court yelling at you, I'm not yelling at Rachel, the person. I'm not yelling at you as a person. I'm yelling at the athlete. I'm yelling at the athlete that I know has potential. I'm yelling at the athlete that needs to correct what she's doing wrong. He said, and as soon as practice is over, I'm going to not worry about Rachel, the athlete, and I'm going to worry about Rachel, the person. And there are varying views on, the whole person, versus kind of categorizing when you're focusing on someone. And, as this is titled, this is truly me rambling. But I thought it was such a good lesson that it would really, really help me, not just in sports, but when I got my first job, or the first time I got reprimanded in my job, I told myself, they're not talking to Rachel the person. They're talking to Rachel the teacher. They're talking to Rachel the teacher, that they can see the potential, and they know that for me to be a better teacher, they're going to have to correct me, and they're going to have to point things out that might hurt my feelings, but they're going to make me a better teacher. And if they ignored them, then I would never get better. I would never learn, and I would never grow. So I would encourage you to think about that sometimes. No one likes hearing criticism. No one likes negativity, but sometimes you have to take a step back and realize, maybe that criticism is not at me, the person, it's at me, the employee. Especially with y'all being managers, you have residents coming in at you angrily all the time. And people come in and they have heightened emotions, and it feels like they're attacking you, but you're either the person right in front of them, and so they lash out at you, or they're mad at the issue. They're not mad at you, the person. They're mad at your position or the authority that you have. And it's still going to hurt, but you have to, as you grow, you have to get to the point they're saying, okay, they were yelling at Rachel, the manager. They were mad at these decisions that I had to make as a manager. Me as a person, I did not do those things. You didn't make up the rules. You didn't make up the lease. You didn't personally say, I'm angry at this person, so I'm going to lash out. You don't do that to residents, because you would lose your job, and that would not go well. But you're not lease violating people because you don't like them. You're lease violating residents when they break a rule or they're not doing something correctly. So just like when you give a lease violation, it's not personal to that person. It's to them, the tenant, the resident who's not following the rules. Sometimes when someone from home office or someone, is showing you what you did wrong or what you could grow at, they're talking to you, the employee, you, the manager, who has so much potential to be even better than you are in your job. So all of that was running through my head while I was watching my friend's daughter play basketball and thinking how old I'm getting, and I can't believe that more than 20 years have passed since I learned all these lessons. And hopefully you've stuck with me through this ramble, because it was a lot of rambling today. But as you grow, and as we all grow into the best version of ourselves that we can be, your stress levels and your life will be so much more peaceful if you can remember that so often that the negativity or criticism or critiques that are thrown your way are not personal attacks, that they are coming to you at your position, or I just, it's so much easier for me to relate to sports, since that was always such a part of my life, that I always remember Coach Boyd saying, I'm talking to Rachel the athlete. I'm talking to Rachel the basketball player. I am not talking about Rachel Denton the person. Rachel Denton the person's wonderful. Right now I'm talking to the athlete who is dragging her feet and not following my instructions. And once we get Rachel the athlete on the right page, I can go over and talk to Rachel the person, and tell her how proud I am of her for overcoming, her struggles. So just want something I was reflecting on, and thought I would pass along to y'all, that this is a great time of year to reflect on the past and think of how you can take the lessons that you've learned, whether they were 20 minutes ago, 20 months ago, or 20 years ago. You can always take those things you've learned and move them forward into the new year. And I hope y'all have a great day. If you're still watching, I appreciate you sticking with me as I just rambled along, but I appreciate it, and I hope it helped you. Thanks.